Hey YouTube, what's going on? It's Halloween month and we're doing kind of a theme this month. We're doing aliens. So, no, not that way. We're doing alien props. So, I'm a huge fan of H.R. Giger. When I was getting my art degree, he was one of my primary influences. A lot of my digital artwork, a lot of album covers that I did for bands and stuff, all had Giger influences. I was always big into H.R. Giger, but I didn't get into prop making and stuff until much later in my life, and I sort of had put to bed a lot of my interest in Giger. And so I really didn't sort of reawaken it until I got back into watching the Alien films again, because I was gearing up for Romulus, and Romulus looked like it might actually be the first movie in a long time that didn't suck, and it did not. It was really good. And so that sort of reawakened me, and I said, you know what? I'm going to do Aliens for Halloween. I'm going to go get some stuff and kind of get back into it. So I busted out all my old Giger art books. I was going through them, all my old reference material about how they built the big chap, everything, down to the type of condoms they used like to do the jaws, everything. And it was really exciting, and I decided to see what was out there now that I hadn't really looked at collecting in a long time. And I was amazed to find how much economic stuff there is. So I'm going to show you a couple of the cheap things you could pick up to flesh out and make a really nice Aliens collection. So let's take a look at some of the one-to-one stuff we can get.
Behold, my stuff.
All right. The first thing that is the easiest thing is that there is a licensed one-to-one facehugger right now. No, I'm not talking about the NECA one. NECA one's expensive. They released one that is specifically for Alien Romulus. And it's pretty cool because it's also a mask. This I got from HalloweenCostumes.com. I pre-ordered it a while ago, back when the pre-order first went up, months ago. And it's 1-to-1 scale. And it is a really beautiful sculpt. It is not the NECA sculpt. It is a different sculpt. You can actually see they did sculpt fingernails onto it, which is pretty cool. I'll probably put some Lee press-on nails on that thing just to, vary it up a little bit. It's very, very shiny, which we're probably okay with. I may take that shine out or whatnot. It's completely hollow, and it has wire armature in it. And if I can just bend this down, you can see the wire is literally just throughout the thing. And because it's hollow, it's just a skin of heavy vinyl, or it might be latex, actually. Or not... It might be vinyl, might be latex. I honestly can't tell. It's made from all the same stuff that most of the over-the-counter Halloween masks are made out of. So I think it's a nice thick latex, but it could be vinyl. And because of that, it is not without its problems. So when you bend it, it does give creases and things like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up some smooth-on, soft foam that you could pour together and mix, and the eye holes are really just 2 holes cut in the mold here, 2 holes cut in the mold here, nothing connecting them, so you can access the whole innards through these eye holes. And I'm just going to get a funnel and pour the crap right into it and let soft foam fill the whole thing, and then I'll plug up the eye holes, and then I have a 1-to-1. If I wanted to keep it a mask, I could, but it's got good wire armature, and you can kind of bend these over your noodle and wrap these around your head, and it'll stay on your head. So you really have to want it. So yeah. So you do this, and then you can wrap this around your neck and whatnot. And you got your 1-to-1 facehugger. It's not bad. It's not really what I want. I just wanted a 1-to-1 facehugger. I don't really need the mask. But if you're doing a costume, yeah, that'll work. So this is about, I think they're retailing like $35 right now on HalloweenCostumes.com. I paid 20 something. I had a special for pre-order, so I paid like $25 or whatever it was. Because it is so squishy, you could go in with foam clay or whatever and bulk it out and sort of do that and use tools to kind of cram it all in there. I feel like that isn't going to get the job done. You could cut strips of fabric or upholstery foam or insulation foam and stick that in there, as long as it's squishy and pliable, and bulk out the body. and maybe even the top piece of the tail, and that might do you. In reality, I think the pouring of the foam is easier. The detail on the inside is phenomenal. So really nice detail, pink hues, very, very nice. I may go in and repaint all this. I mean, who are we kidding? Of course I'm going to repaint it. But it is a very nice sculpture. There's a lot of Giger in Romulus's sculpture. It doesn't deviate as heavily as some of the later facehuggers, which I do really like a lot. The original one, of course, was straight up latex. It wasn't even colored. So we've seen that survive. And actually, Adam Savage just did a video on that with Prop Store. And so you don't really want to measure it based on like what it looks like now. You want to get it to what it looks like then. And in general, that raw latex look, it's pretty much this. I mean, I don't think there's a ton of repainting you need to do with this. You can if you want. Maybe matte coat it to get that gloss out of it and make it a little bit more selectively slimy, I guess. But I think this is pretty great the way it is. The armature is going to vary from piece to piece. So sometimes the armature goes all the way down in the finger and sometimes it doesn't. So you may have some knuckle issues here and there. You could accomplish that by just simply cutting a hole right on the nail bed, inserting more wire, doing your own insertion of whatever you want, and then covering that up with a real nail, like a press-on nail, like you get from the store. So I'm probably going to do that so that the joints are preserved. But there's a lot of ways you can go about bulking this out. But even if you just picked up this, it's not bad. Although I will say my brain requires me to fill this. I have to fill this. I have to make this look a little bit more symmetrical. So I am going to do that. And I've actually already gone in and put some foam clay here and here because it was indenting and things like that. But this is a really cool pickup for Halloween. I think they're going to be stocked in a couple places. They gave these out at Comic-Con, I feel like. I want to say it was San Diego Comic-Con a year ago. And you could have picked them up then. They get them out early. But this is officially licensed from Alien Romulus. And I think it's a great pickup. So I highly recommend it. If you're not getting the NECA facehugger, you should get that one. Another cheap thing you can do is that there's this file that's everywhere. I went to TerrorCon recently. And actually got some photos. I got some photos from TerrorCon. That's me and Brandon. You guys know Brandon. I did a whole rundown of his Evil Dead setup here, and he had a big giant Jack Skellington. It was automated. It was motion censored. It moved. It did a bunch of stuff. Got Zero back there and everything. Really cool guy. Runs featured presentations. Really, really great. Really, really great guy. And then, of course, I got some autographs for some of my friends and stuff. House of a Thousand Corpses, and this is Devil's Rejects, but my friend is a big fan of Rob Zombie, House of a Thousand Corpses. Devil's Rejects was pretty much good, too, but I really got him the photo because it has everybody who was in that first film also pretty much showed up in the second one, including Bill Moseley. So, got that for my friend, Dr. Dave. I'm going to send that down to him. But something that I saw there that I also have seen online is the chestburster. And so I picked one of those up. Now, the chestburster is, the quintessential alien thing, right? You put it on your chest. It's fantastic. And it's a quick, easy costume. You get a crap shirt you don't want. You cut a basic hole. Cover it in red blood. Where is it? This crap. Pick it up at any Halloween store, right? Cover your shirt in that. You tie straps to these guys and wrap it around your chest, wrap it over your shoulders. That's set up to be as sturdy as you want it to be. And you punch that through the hole. You walk around, bing, bang, boom, you've got a costume. If you spend a couple bucks, get a Nostromo patch, you can put it on your arm, even better. So I really always thought about picking one up, but now that I have the facehugger, it occurred to me that I could do the facehugger mask and have this and sort of do both of those phases at the same time. And that would be kind of cool looking. So that was all about it. They're a 3D print. I will say the one I got this one from came out really, really well because they use as small a print lines as possible, but I really hate when 3D printers sell 3D prints. I wish they would just finish one, cover the print and scan lines, mold it, and then just make those. It can't be less expensive to spend hours printing these things and selling them that way. I feel like running the resin mold is cheaper, but that's me. What do you want? So, you know, I prime it, I coat it. You can see the scan lines on the base because why would I fill those? But I coat it black, then I coat it with like a tan, and then I cover it in a leather dye, and I let that get in and seep in like a wash, and then I cover it with like a purple airbrush wash on the underside so that he retains some pink. And it does create a subtle texture on the front to back. The reason I use an upholstery spray paint is because when I go and I sand it, it exposes some of the black, but not perfectly. So it does sort of give like a molting kind of look, and you can kind of see some of it show through. You kind of get that impression that this skin sits over the black. That black is like, you know, a little bit there. Like black is what's underneath this guy, and when he sheds the skin, it's black. So I kind of wanted to try to create that effect. It didn't really work the way I wanted. You know, you're not going to notice it. I notice it, but everybody else isn't. But it does kind of give this impression that this skin is to be molted. It's not permanent. And then I did a mixture of things to create my blood, so that it has that layered blood look. It's not just red, runny paint. I hate that for blood. I want blood to have that multi-textured look, and then I glossed that up, and a little bit of silver on the teeth, and that's a chestburster. So this is pretty cool. Like I said, you can get these on Etsy. Paint up is your preference. I mean, those things come printed to color, so you could just cover it in blood and call it a day. You know me, I can't leave anything the way it is. I got to repaint everything, even if it's not necessarily better. It's a little too matte. It doesn't have the translucency that I was kind of hoping to achieve doing all the layers I did. But it's not the end of the world. There's some dry brushing on there and the highlights and things like that. It does sort of have like a weird, it's not quite alien. It's not quite aliens. It's sort of like a weird hybrid. Maybe it's like an AVP or something. I don't really know. So I don't think it's accurate to any one type of chestburster. It's more of like a generic all-purpose chestburster. But I like it. It came out pretty cool. And like I said, it's a good size. So you can see what it is. Of course, the first thing I did was put it in my pants when I walked out. I was like, ha! Everybody, I think, does that when they buy one of these. Don't take photos and put them online. You know, don't do that to yourself. But yeah, so that's kind of my current alien stuff, my one-to-one alien stuff. I don't really plan on collecting any more one-to-one alien stuff. I know that the Nerf blaster is out from Aliens and things like that. I'm more of an alien guy, so I would definitely prefer picking up items and elements that are specific to Alien. For example, Ripley's blowtorch. You can get that on HalloweenCostumes.com if you're into that right now. I will tell you that I am building a diorama for my custom Big Chap, which you guys saw. And so he's getting a dio. I really love the way this paint job came out, and I wanted to build a full diorama for him. So I'm doing a video on how to do that. All the parts that I used. I'm making some custom eggs for it as well. So there'll be some videos on that. And the completion of that will be forthcoming on the channel. I don't really have any plans to pick up anything else, although in the perfect world, I'd love a full-size Giger Xenomorph head. Obviously, I love a full-size Xenomorph, but who has time, space, or money for that? But I would like a full-size Xenomorph head if I could pull that off. But yeah, I think that if you are interested in Alien right now, it's hot, it's popping, and where the NECA figures are always extremely expensive in secondary market, there are so many other figures out there that you can acquire and add to your collection. There are so many cool sculptures and, you know, 1/4 scale, 1/2 scale, 1/3 scale pieces, busts, things like that out there. So pretty much whatever you want to your heart's content is out there. It's just you're going to pay a premium price for it, especially with Romulus being as popular as it is right now. In a few years, maybe those prices go down a little bit. The other thing is there is a Xenomorph head that went out. Distortion put their Xenomorph back out with HalloweenCostumes.com and reissued it. It was like $1,800. The sculpt was destroyed. I mean, I looked at it and I was like, that is not $1,800. That's not Giger's work. As we know it, a lot of it is gone. And so $1,800 as a mask is just not reasonable. A lot of people went to Mask Fest and they came back to me and they were like, nah, dude, not $600 would be, you'd be upset at $600. So $1,700, $1,800 is just no. So, you know, maybe one day we'll build one, maybe we won't. But in general, that's how we're going to end our video today. So Look at this thing. It just grabs. It's really creepy because it's kind of got like Cassandra Nova fingers. Deadpool and Wolverine just came out on digital, so I just picked that up. So I'm kind of watching that right now. But this has got very Radu-esque things. Maybe I'll give it the Bloodstone. He wants the Bloodstone for himself. So, I don't know. I'm going to have a lot of fun with this thing. The real trick is going to be, what do we do after we fill it? Do we paint it? Do we not? So we're going to come up with that. Also, my friend Ryan is getting his NECA one up here, and we'll do a comparison video of the two for you and show you which one is the NECA worth the money for you, or maybe is the Romulus one going to do you fine. We'll figure that all out in another video. Thanks for watching, and if you can't build it, buy it. If you can't buy it, build it. And sometimes if you do both, it's pretty cool.